Now, from what we have seen today, it is pretty evident that Katt Williams is not crazy. See, Katt Williams suffers from a disease I like to call realness. It's where an individual is so honest with themselves and what's going on that they cannot be compelled, bribed, or tricked into not being honest and real. Hollywood's biggest fear is someone who will tell the truth. In fact, most of the world's biggest fear is someone who will tell the truth. That's why all of the people that you see who are honest, who are real, they don't have a lot of press. They don't have a lot of circulation around them. In fact, most of the time, the world hates them as far as the media is concerned. You never get this impression when you meet them or when you see the people around them, only when they are talked about by the specific groups that they themselves speak out about. This has been a common thing since the beginning of time. You can look back through every civilization. Whenever there is someone, as we put it, who's a whistleblower, those people get cast out in society. See, if we can turn the people's eyes off of us and onto them and try to find any flaws, spin the narrative any kind of way, we can still control them. We can allow someone who knows the truth, who will call it out, be in our circles, be around us, and walk around with legitimacy and power. Power being the biggest part of it. We can track this all the way back to the Bible days. The real reason they killed Jesus wasn't because he was doing good work. It wasn't because he was breaking any laws. It was because they feared the people following him would rise up against him because they were dirty and corrupt. It wasn't the Romans who did it. It was his own people, the rabbis who were in charge. Now, that sounds very familiar, and I'm not going to get on that at this particular moment. But if you notice, whenever there's someone who comes around and the people follow them and they genuinely are for the people, something happens to them. The character gets assassinated. They get thrown in jail. They get attacked. They get killed most of the time. From Martin to Malcolm, the list goes on. Not to mention what they did to Black Panther Party. I'm going to just leave that alone. But whenever there are people or individuals who represent the people, the establishment cannot take them and let them continue on. Because if people wake up, there is no establishment. They lose power, they lose control. These things are dangerous to people who are narcissistic and love having power. One of the biggest things that people say is money is the root of all evil. That is not the quote. The quote is the love of money is the root of all evil, because people will choose money and bread over their family, over their friends, over their own moral integrity. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but that seems to be the syndrome of the society current today. He still got paid though. He sold his soul. He wore a dress. He had sex for money, but that's okay. One thing that they did, which was very clever, they took away shame and guilt. Everything is acceptable. When we had rules and standards where there was a thing called shame, people would not act a certain way. And that was because they knew it would not be acceptable socially. And you're wondering, why is that a big problem? Well, whenever we remove shame, we invite lawlessness just by default. We need those things to remind us that everything isn't acceptable and everything shouldn't be done. And just because you have the ability to do it does not mean you should. Everybody always asks, how can I do this? They never stop to ask why. So as I look at this Katt Williams interview, I look at it like many of the ones he's done in the past, where he's called people out and no one seems to understand or back him. People keep forgetting. He keeps saying this, and this viral clip has been on the internet for years. 19 felonies, no convictions. 19 felonies, no convictions. Once again, people who are representing truth are always looked at as the enemy. That doesn't mean every single person that you see on TV or getting chastised by the media is immediately a hero. That's not the case. But there are cases where you can obviously tell. This man has been blackballed from Hollywood for the past 15 years straight. I don't know if a lot of y'all really remember, because a lot of the audience today is very cloudy on time frames. You know, because of some other things, but I'm not going to get on that. But if you remember, Katt Williams was that guy. Everybody wanted Katt in their movie, in their videos. He was everywhere. You cannot go anywhere without hearing about this man's name. For real. Especially in the comedy scene. And it's funny. As soon as things started happening to him and he withdrew from the public eye, other people got pushed into position. And so that also lets you know that a lot of this isn't real. A lot of this is based on who you know and how much they like you. One of the things about being real, though, people are automatically drawn and they can't help it. They can't. And so for a guy like Katt, who instantly draws attention with just his personality, you can't dim that light, no matter how much darkness you surround him in. And in fact, you shine brighter in the darkest places. And so what they realized was if they couldn't destroy him as far as the media goes, people wouldn't take him serious. He's been using his stand-up, his videos. There was a point in time he made an Illuminati diss track, bro. Like, he really did. And if I can find the link, I'll put it in the description for y'all. But this man has literally been trying to tell us about the things that are going on for decades. And it's not just him. It's been plenty of them. You know, you would think after what happened to Dave Chappelle, people would realize this was all a game. Dave Chappelle even said it. By the time he got back off that plane from Africa, the whole world had spread. He was on crack. He was on crack. He was crazy. He was doing hard drugs. He couldn't handle the pressure of running his own show. A show that he built from the ground up. And so I say all that to say, watch what you consume and who you are letting into your mind. Do not be distracted by these people on these screens. Do not be distracted by them. Because they are put there to inflict, a form of control. They really want to push their narrative. And if they can get you and the people like you on board with it, they won't have any resistance. The biggest problem that they don't realize is no matter how much you try to squash it, no matter how much you try to kill it, no matter how many people you put down, new heads pop up every day because you can't suppress reality. It doesn't work like that. And whether you believe in God or not, with every great civilization, there are people who rise up to fight against the powers that be when they are being corrupt. Keep your ears and your eyes on the swivel. Peace.